Beneath the flickering lights of a foreign hotel, a simple piece of paper changed hands. It looked ordinary, but it wasn't. It was a shopping list for weapons of war, missiles, rifles, chemical equipment, secretly negotiated by a man hiding a camera inside his collar. A quiet camera click echoed in the room. That man was not a spy, not a soldier, not an arms dealer. He was a former chef from Denmark, living on government support, battling a chronic illness, with absolutely no background in espionage. And yet, for nearly a decade, he would infiltrate the most paranoid regime on Earth alone. One wrong glance, one careless word, and he would disappear forever inside a North Korean prison. His name was Ulrich Larsen, and what he recorded would become one of the most humiliating exposures in the history of North Korea. Copenhagen, 2010, Ulrich Larsen sat alone in his small apartment. Once a professional chef, his career had ended abruptly due to illness. Days blended into each other, disability payments, quiet streets, a sense that life's adventure was already over. Then, one night, a documentary appeared on his screen. It showed Westerners entering North Korea under false pretenses. As the images rolled, a dangerous thought took hold. What if someone exposed the regime, not from inside, but from its global shadow? Most people would dismiss the idea. Ulrich didn't. He emailed the filmmaker, Mads Brugger. The reply surprised him. "You're not needed inside North Korea," Brugger said. "You're needed where their secrets move freely outside." North Korea, strangled by sanctions, survives through illegal networks, weapons, drugs, fake businesses, and an invisible, underestimated outsider might slip through unnoticed. Ulrich's first move was simple. He joined a club, the Korean Friendship Association, a global group of North Korea sympathizers. Some were curious travelers, others were devoted believers. Ulrich became one of them. He praised the leadership, volunteered for boring tasks, showed endless loyalty. Month after month, year after year, trust grew. "That Danish man," they said, "he's a true believer." They never suspected that every conversation, every name, every whisper was being quietly catalogued. By day, Ulrich was a normal father discussing homework. By night, he was burrowing deeper into a dangerous illusion. Eventually, an invitation arrived. A propaganda tour to Pyongyang. This was the point of no return. Accept, and he would be watched every second. Refuse, and the doors would close forever. He boarded the plane. Stepping into North Korea felt like entering a staged reality. Smiling citizens, perfect streets, and everywhere the watchful eyes of minders in dark suits. Ulrich played his role flawlessly. He gasped at monuments, bowed before massive statues, smiled at rehearsed spectacles. It was disturbing, and it worked, because it earned him the trust of a powerful man, Alejandro Cao de Benós, a Spanish aristocrat, North Korea's most loyal Western gatekeeper. If you wanted access, Alejandro was the key, and now Ulrich had it. But admiration alone wouldn't expose anything. Ulrich needed greed. Sanctions had strangled North Korea's finances. They were desperate for cash. So Ulrich created bait, a fake criminal opportunity. But he needed a convincing partner. Enter Mr. James. His real name was Jim, a former French Foreign Legion soldier, a man with the scars, confidence, and history of someone who lived outside the law. Together, they built a story. Mr. James was a wealthy Scandinavian businessman with dirty money, interested only in profit. No morals, no questions. Their first test came at a quiet dinner in Oslo. Alejandro attended. So did a North Korean diplomat. Wine glasses clinked. Small talk faded. Then Mr. James leaned in. He spoke of products blocked by sanctions. The table fell silent. Then the diplomat whispered, "There are ways, for true friends." By dessert, they were discussing arms deals and drug manufacturing. The regime that denied everything was now offering everything. Talk wasn't enough. Ulrich needed proof. Contracts, plans, signatures. Eager for investment, the North Koreans proposed something shocking: a secret underground factory. On the surface, a luxury resort on an island in Uganda. Golf courses, villas, tourists. Below-ground missile production and methamphetamine labs. To finalize the deal, they invited Mr. James to North Korea. January 2017. A government Mercedes drove through snowy hills outside Pyongyang. Ulrich and Jim's hearts pounded. They were taken underground. Fluorescent lights flickered on. Missiles, rifles, tanks. Officials handed over glossy brochures, prices listed in US dollars. In the next room, chemical fumes filled the air. A hidden meth lab. PowerPoint presentations followed. North Korea wasn't hiding. It was advertising. That night, over private dinner, senior officials explained everything. $5 million to begin. Bribed officials in Uganda. A private airstrip. The next day, a contract was signed. Ulrich's hidden camera captured the handshake. This was the smoking gun. Now they had to escape with it. At Pyongyang Airport, a security officer pulled a digital recorder from Ulrich's bag. Time froze. Ulrich smiled. "I record birds," he said. "I love nature." The officer smiled back. "We have beautiful birds," he replied, and waved him through. Only when the plane lifted into the sky did Ulrich breathe again. Back in Europe, the evidence was undeniable. But one final act remained. Summer 2019, Kala, Uganda. The North Koreans arrived to finalize the island project. On the table lay a detailed shopping list. Scud missile parts, chemical precursors, even submarine designs. For 2 hours, they discussed smuggling routes and fake oil payments. Hidden cameras rolled. The trap closed. Weeks later, the documentary aired. The reaction was immediate. Governments filed complaints at the United Nations. The footage entered official records. North Korea denied everything, but the damage was done. A security expert called it their greatest embarrassment. Not by spies, not by intelligence agencies, but by an ordinary man. Ulrich returned home to a quiet street. No fame, no fortune. Just the knowledge that patience and courage had exposed what billions couldn't. The world of sanctions evasion continues. But for one remarkable moment, a former chef outplayed a dictatorship. If this true story shocked you, support the channel by liking and subscribing to Winds of Thought. What other secrets do you think are hiding in plain sight? Tell us below.